There's a profound problem some artists run into, and this goes especially for hip-hop, rap, R&B artists, people in electronic, people in metal. They don't actually deal with this. Like, this is a mostly hip-hop and hip-hop adjacent problem of not being able to convert your content views or your ad views into listeners. And this is a problem that's come up more times than I care to count, and that's why I rack my brain really hard about it, and I want to address it for you so you know what to do about this. And that you never feel I'm gonna block this window with my head so that you never feel like this problem is a problem for you. Because imagine you spend so much time coming up with good content, coming up with ideas to make sure that people actually watch your shit and give you the eyeballs that you so desperately need, and it works. For most people it doesn't work, so they know what to do. They know, like, you know, they need to make their content better. But imagine for you, you do this and your content fucking works, but nobody goes to your Spotify page to listen to it. So what do you do? And it's just like I said, the problem has many faces to it. There's more things than one that you can do about it, but I'm gonna tell you the easy things that I think you can start doing right away just so you don't waste time. Basically, the problem is present in hip-hop and R&B more than it is in any other music genre, because in hip-hop and R&B, music doesn't matter. Shocking, I know, but I'm leading somewhere with this. I know a lot of people will get their egos hurt and they will disagree and they will scream at me in the comments saying that music should speak for itself and music is the only thing that matters. And that's true in every genre outside of hip-hop. It's true. In hip-hop, there's one thing that is true people refuse to acknowledge, and that is that the person delivering the music or the song is more important than the music itself. Imagine this. If King Von just sat in his fucking bedroom all day and wasn't the gangster we know him to be, would he have as many listeners as he does? Yes or no? Of course not, okay? Of course not. If King Von was just another dude living in white suburbia, just rapping the same songs, but he was living in white suburbia and he was just going to school or like to work every morning, he wouldn't be where King Von is. Even though he passed away, you know, he's still very popular and he's a huge figure in drill, in rap, and whatever, okay? And you can give this example about almost any artist, right? Even Eminem. You could say, oh, but Eminem is a great lyricist and people like him for his lyrics and how good he is. That is partially true, but what people forget is that early on, Eminem was writing really hard of this white trailer trash story that really got him the attention that he started getting popular. So at the start of this journey, even though Eminem was lyrically talented, he still had to go and enlist the help of this lore of himself being white trailer trash, of him being a junkie, of his life fucking falling apart. That is the part that people found relatable, and on top of that, he was really good lyrically. And once I realized this, I completely changed how I approach guys that I work with and girls that are trying to do hip-hop and rap. And my advice for these people now is to be interesting in your daily life and essentially do and show something interesting. Become the person that is supposed to be making your music. I hope that makes sense what I said, because again, if you make gangster rap and you sit in your bedroom all day, you're not a gangster. Nobody's gonna give a shit, okay? If you make gangster rap and you are a gangster, which by the way, I don't like condone crime or anything, but you gotta essentially be the person that this type of music is coming from. And if you're not, people aren't gonna care, because in hip-hop, the person delivering the music is more important than the music. So what do you do about this, okay? How can you take what I said and apply this to yourself today? I want to do this by giving you a few good examples of people showing who they are really well on social media. And the first example I want to come up with is Punch Made Dev, okay? Whether you believe that he's a scammer or not, whether you believe that he's actually doing the shit he talks about or not, Punch Made Dev is really good about showing in his music videos, in his Instagram, in his stories, maybe he has a TikTok as well, of showing that scam lifestyle, of showing himself scamming, and of showing his like jewelry and whatever as proceeds of his scamming. Now, there's no guarantee that he didn't just buy a few stacks of cash on Amazon for like $300, you know, the $100 bills used for movie props, and then threw in like an actual $1,000 of real life 100 bills just so he can do the spread, because fake money doesn't spread as well, okay? And there's no guarantee that he just doesn't read about this basically on Wikipedia, right, and then raps about it. We don't know if this is true or not, but that doesn't matter. What he's showing is a person who is a scammer delivering and doing scam rap. He raps about scamming. But because of this image and of how good he is at portraying this visually, aesthetically, and a kind of like as a charisma thing, right? He does have this charisma of a scammer, for sure. He behaves like this, he scams his audience all the fucking time. And so people believe his music. Another good example with a similar effect was very, very early 6ix9ine. And I use early 6ix9ine as an example all the time because he was good. He was great at this. And he's still good at getting eyeballs and moving in the music game, even though he kinda lost the respect of being a real gangster, you know? He doesn't make his music about this anymore. He's just doing Latin pop or whatever. It doesn't matter. Early 6ix9ine was really showing in every music video, in all his IG posts, some type of Brooklyn underbelly of like living in New York in a really fucking scammy, trashy, hobo, like drug addict way that was just so different and unique at the time that people ate it and they were happy to eat it, right? And so when a person like this raps about I need a bitch that's dirty like me, you believe it because he is dirty visually and in every way, exactly like he says. The person matches the lyrical content. We don't know. We actually don't know if as soon as the cameras came off 6ix9ine, like, you know, wiped off all his shit and he like just dressed normally and went back home with his mom to a normal house. We don't know. And you're not supposed to know because the music business is entertainment business, all right? Only what's actually on camera matters. And so you need to learn to figure out what to do on camera, on Instagram, on shorts, on everything that makes you an actual interesting person to follow along. What's a bunch of things you can do to help you achieve that effect? First and foremost is, of course, collab with similar people. If you live in a town of, say, Chicago, and you're doing Chicago drill, getting to know a bunch of these other peoples, actually start coming outside, meeting up, doing music videos together, doing songs together, well, that's the best way because that's literally social proof doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And a lot of these people that already got a bit of this cred will inadvertently share it with you if you just start appearing with them. You can take this a step further and start hanging out with people that are like streamers or other local celebrities, not necessarily music artists, but being around people that, say, have social credibility, bump up your social credibility. And of course, don't forget that if you are portraying a certain lifestyle in your music, and this can be about gangster rap or this can be about anything, right? It can be R&B, rapping about girls and love. You need to portray this image to the maximum in your visuals. So in your music videos, in your photos, in your IG stories where you're just filming your daily life, you need to really be that guy and crank it up to 11. So say you are doing gangster rap, okay? Well, bro, you need guns, you need hoes, you need stacks, you need bags of weed, you need to be in a trap house somewhere, right? Or you need, you know, the other side of this, you need like the luxury cars, the chains, as in like the proceedings, so to speak, of your criminal life, right? So basically, if you rap about money, you gotta prove that you have money, at least a little bit, okay? Maybe not a Rolls Royce, but at least don't roll up to your music video just by yourself flexing in some back alley. Because if you're rapping about money, you're just by yourself in every music video and you don't have anything going on in every picture, how are people supposed to believe you, okay? And whether you believe what I said is fortunate or unfortunate, whether you believe this is how it should or shouldn't be, that's just how it is, and that's just kind of how it's historically been. Arguing against this is pointless. The thing that has a point is making sure that you play by the rules and you become the best at this game. And I hope what I said makes sense, and I hope it gave you some ideas. So if you're struggling to convert viewers from your content or ads into listeners, be sure to bump up like your social media presence and your persona and then your worlds, essentially your universe that you're portraying, match what you talk about in your lyrics. Okay? With that, I'm back now. I figured I'd give you a small channel update. I'm in my attic, ironically. I fucking love my attic. I've been focused on a venture, another music venture that is now at a point where I don't need to look at it as much, okay? It doesn't need as much attention. You could basically say, like, the setup is done, it's working kind of the way it's supposed to be working, and a bunch of my time freed up. So basically, this whole time I was doing that. I was working with my one-on-one clients, the winners that were winners the whole time. They're still winners now. Plusix, who I talked about, he's now doing shows. He's still sitting around 200k monthly listeners, maybe 250k now. Okay, he has been since November. He's doing shows. He's doing pretty great for himself. He's about to do another label deal to get another advance. He's doing great. Sanaya right now, you know, she's still very popular with the industry right now. They're expecting things from her like a mixtape. She's probably working on a mixtape right now. You know, I don't want to speak on things that I'm not supposed to speak about, but she's just in the background making her music, making sure the product is good. And there was another person who tried really, really hard and was really, really good, was Jayco. And Jayco is a G, respect to Jayco. He worked really, really hard the whole time we were going. And basically, Jayco is part of the reason I'm making this video, right? He got to a point where all his content does amazingly well, well, but he was struggling to kind of get those people over to Spotify. And by answering his questions, I kind of decided I would answer this for everybody because I saw this as a huge problem in hip-hop. With that said, it's good to see you again. Happy to be back. You know, I will leave all my links down below in case you want to check out more content. More content is also coming on YouTube. I am going to be doing, there's a very, very big free course planned on networking. I have a networking video already, but that one will be even deeper. And that one, hopefully, I'm trying to make that one so clear that you can't fail, okay? Because if you can get the support of the industry, as I see from Sanaya and other people like her, where the industry and the people working in the background take an interest in this artist, you can't fail. You just can't fucking fail. As long as these people believe in you, they will push you and pull you in every direction. They will shove you on like every magazine cover, and they will do everything for you to help you out. And to try and put you in that position, over the next couple of videos, that big ass long video will also be coming out. With that, good to see you again. I'll see you in the next one.